Okay, I did not sign up for this. I thought I was just coming here to water a few plants, but now I am lost in the jungle. And if I don't figure out how to get out of here soon, these vines might have other plans for me. No pressure, right? Yikes, one wrong move and those plant traps could get a little unfriendly. These plants aren't just decoration. They've got secrets. Sunlight, water, soil, it all matters. If we can crack the code on what they need, maybe I can escape without getting tangled in the vines. Plant care must be the key to survival in today's episode. It's not just about watering and sunlight, it's about uncovering the secrets these plants hold. But where do we start? Hey, check out those rocks behind you. Aha! There are 3 symbols here. A house, a brain, and a seedling? Each of these represents something important plants provide. What do they mean? Brainstorm some ideas in your guided notes, then meet me back here to crack the code. All right, the house symbol. What could it mean? Keeping plants in our homes isn't just about looks. How might plants improve the environment inside our homes? Plants act like natural air purifiers, absorbing toxins and releasing oxygen, making the air inside our homes healthier. They also regulate humidity, preventing dry skin and respiratory issues. So the house symbol isn't just about having a few green decorations. Plants are your home's air and moisture control system, keeping it comfortable and fresh. Next, we've got the brain symbol. How might plants affect our brain and mood? Research shows that just being around plants can reduce stress and anxiety, helping us feel more relaxed. Plants can also boost our mood and improve concentration. They can even enhance cognitive function, making it easier to focus and be creative. If you're trying to focus or come up with new ideas, having plants around can help your brain work better. Think of them as your silent productivity partners. So when you're working on that big project or just need to relax, plants are there to give you that extra mental edge. All right, speaking of mental edge, let's figure out this seedling symbol. What could it mean? How might the process of plant care help us grow too? This one's all about personal growth and life skills. Caring for plants teaches patience, responsibility, and attention to detail. It's a great way to build problem-solving skills and consistency. Watching a plant thrive because of your care can be incredibly rewarding. So the seedling represents growth, not just for the plant, but for you as the caretaker. Plants give us a chance to practice being patient, developing routines, and sticking with something to see it succeed. All right, team, we've hit another snag. Now that we know how important plants are, it's time to figure out how to keep them alive and thriving. Let's crack this next code by understanding the basics of plant care. Here's the challenge. Examine these plants closely. Consider their size, the thickness of their leaves, and where they might naturally grow. What kind of environment would they thrive in? Use these clues to figure out how their care instructions might differ. Brainstorm in your notes before we break it down. First up, the cactus and succulent. What did you notice about them? Both of these plants have thick, fleshy bodies designed to store water, which means they're built for dry environments with lots of sunlight. Based on their natural environment, we can deduce that they don't need a ton of water. Overwatering can cause them to rot, so let the soil dry out completely between waterings. Having lots of light and well-drained soil, that's the key. What about the fern? Ferns are fragile. They have delicate feathery leaves and usually grow in shady, moist environments like forests. How could we mimic that environment with our plant care? They need more water and prefer indirect light. If you put a fern in direct sunlight or let its soil dry out, it won't thrive. Keep the soil damp and give them filtered light. If it's a dry space, misting or using a humidifier can really help. Finally, let's check out the pothos, a popular and easy to care for foliage plant. These trailing vines are like the jungle itself, twisting and turning. Pothos thrive in indirect light and only need to be watered when the top inch of soil feels dry. Pothos vines naturally grow at different heights in the jungle, making them super adaptable. They handle low light, but grow faster with medium to bright indirect light. Just don't leave them sitting in water. They like a balance between dry and damp soil. And one more thing, if you have animals in your home, check whether your plants are pet safe. Some, like pothos, can be toxic to cats and dogs. Choose pet-friendly options to keep everyone safe. Nice job, eco warriors. I'm one step closer to getting out of here. With these plant care basics in mind, we can handle whatever plant challenges come our way. Let's keep moving. All right, it looks like we've done it. We've got these plants set up and thriving. Wait a minute. This fern's leaves are turning yellow. Think back to what we know about these plants' natural habitats. Ferns, for example, come from shady, moist environments, right? Now, based on that, what do you think could be going wrong here? I think you're onto something. The fern might be getting too much direct sunlight or not enough water. Remember, ferns love indirect light and need consistent moisture. Let's move it to a shadier spot and make sure the soil stays damp. That should help it recover. Next up, let's check out this cactus. It looks pretty mushy. Knowing that cacti are from dry, hot environments, what do you think could be the issue here? If you guessed overwatering, you're right. Cacti store water, so too much causes them to rot. The fix? Let the soil dry out completely between waterings. Remember, cacti and succulents don't need a lot of water. Yikes, check out this pothos. It's under attack. It's got some weird white fuzz on its leaves. What do you think might be causing that? If you guessed pests, you nailed it. Pothos can sometimes get mealy bugs, which look like little white cotton spots. They feed on the plant's sap, which weakens it over time. The solution? Wipe the leaves down with a damp cloth and treat them with a simple mixture of water, dish soap, and a bit of rubbing alcohol to get rid of those pests. Nice work, team. We've handled everything from yellow leaves to mushy succulents and even some pesky pests. You've cracked every plant care code the island could throw at you. It looks like we're finally nearing the end of this plant adventure. Hey, check it out. A greenhouse to keep nurturing the plants on the island. This journey was more than just about watering and sunlight. It was about learning some serious adulting skills. Another challenge conquered in survival of the greenest. We've officially gone from plant newbies to full-fledged leaf whisperers. Who knew being a plant parrot was this intense? Until the next episode of Survival of the Greenest, I can almost smell the compost bins calling. Until then, keep practicing those plant parenting skills. Your plants and your future self will thank you. We'll catch you at our next adulting adventure. No, I do smell the compost bins. Oh, it's not good. It's not good. Oh.